attention, please, while Lena checks homework. I don't think I have your attention. In a second, the homework answers will be up on the board. So I need you to get out the homework, check out your answers, see if you got it right, what it's wrong. If you find something you got wrong, as I am grading your quizzes, you can talk to each other about anything you got wrong. Very quickly, I thought part B on number 1 was very difficult. I tried to, oh no, not part 1 on number B, on number 2, part B. I tried to come up with a formula, and it didn't work for all cases. So then I went and used the calculator, and I went to stat calc, and I did exponential regression. And that was able to figure it out for me. Okay? So, take a look at the answers. If you have anything to discuss, talk to a person sitting next to you. I will scroll through them as I go through each of these.
Mr. Lindquist.
Yes.
That number is the square root of 0.5. The 7.
Oh, 0.7071? I think isn't it the square root of 2?
No, that's what I thought at first, but the square root of 2 is 1.4 times.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, why am I thinking, oh, you know what? I was thinking of a trig value. It's one of those numbers stuck in my
I
head.
just think that's really cool.
It is really cool. I had a really close friend of mine who's into science big time send me a little article last night about a cisternaria crystal and how it looks like a rose. And it's pretty cool. It's it's so small it would fit on the head of a pin, yet it's a perfectly shaped rose.
It's just so cool how stuff
It is
like
really
works.
It is. It's extremely cool. So, and I do not believe in coincidence. All right. This factoring stuff is so unbelievably important. The big thing I want you to realize from Part B is that when stuck coming up with an exponential regression, just go to your calculator, make list 1 and list 2. Number of days is list 1. Level of ZMED is list 2. And plug it into the calculator, and it'll give you the formula that you need to get it right. Okay? And now here are, this is core stuff, number 2, number 3. Factoring quadratic equations is just critical not only for your Regents exam, but for future success in mathematics. Super, super, super important. In all honesty, by this particular point in time, I truly believe with my heart, all of my heart, that you should 100% be able to get every single factoring and every single solve correct. That's up there. If not, there's a problem. You need to get to the point where you can do that. Do I need to keep this up anymore, or can I go to the next page? I can go to the next page? Just a brief, yes.
For C, if you put that in the calculator and you get 21.2.
No, see the magic word simplest form? If I said round to the near, or give me a decimal equivalent, then you would do what you did.
Okay.
When it says simplest form, that is code for break that radical down.
Okay.
Okay, Brian Egan and Anthony Senecal, you both had 100 on your quizzes. If you guys would return quizzes, please. Thank you. And everybody else? No, there were a lot of hundreds. There were some bad grades, but there were lots of hundreds. There were probably 8 or 10 hundreds. So, no, I just didn't. I want somebody who doesn't have to look at the answers to the quiz to go over it. So here are quiz answers with some explanations up there. I'll go through them with you in a second as I get my own personal calculator set up to take attendance. Did anybody who got number 1 wrong misread the question? AJ? Yeah, normally it says which one is not a function. You know the one that's not a function is the one that repeats the x value, right?
Thought it was the y.
No, the y value is irrelevant. Listen carefully, guys. Definition of a function. Every input must have its own unique output. I mean, a little bit more work there, guys. Hey, how did people get number 3 wrong? We've done that exact question before. Oh, hey, excuse me. Oh, hey, excuse me. That was semi-rhetorical, but I want to hear what Mr. Metz's explanation is. Go ahead.
I think I might know one reason why.
Go ahead.
Because it says 1.6 annual interest rate, and they may think it's 1 plus 1.6.
Did you do that? Because whenever you do that interest rate, it always has to be expressed as a what?
Maybe some people just forgot the 1.
Decimal. Maybe they forgot the 1. I don't know. But I do know that you need to, hey, listen, stop, don't talk. The formula is the initial amount, 600. Look on your paper right now. Sari, grab a seat. Come on, hurry up. Listen, look on your paper. Do you have a 600 here?
Yeah.
No? Write yourself a note right now, and that you need to put the starting amount or the initial amount in front. Next, do you have 1.016 right here?
How do you even get that number?
Okay, it's always 1 plus or minus the interest rate as a decimal. So this says 1.6%, but it's a percent. So to make it a decimal, I have to move 2 to the left. So it's 0.016. And then because it's in an account that's compounding interest, it's going up. So I do 1 plus 0.016, and that gives me 1.016. And then it says 2 years, so the exponent is 2. Now, guys, listen. Stop. I like to preach that it isn't how smart you are. It is performance as a function of preparation. We've done not only this exact question, but we've done a similar question to this probably 20 times. Now, I know how smart you are. And I know that if I was to put a $100 bill on your desk and say to you, that 100 is yours, Chloe, not that you got it wrong, I don't know if you got it right or wrong, but you're an easy example with this. Chloe, gift card to the mall, couple of K, right? You would know it by tomorrow. We both know that. It's not a function of your aptitude, which is your intelligence. It's a function of how much you want this. Now, if you write yourself a note on that and then you don't, or tonight when you go home, you say to yourself, I am never going to miss this again, then you will not miss it. You will get it right. Unless, of course, there's always the careless mistake that we're all guilty of every now and then. So stay on top of it, get this stuff down pat, don't repeat the mistake, blah, blah, blah. And now number 4, which is on the back. Number 4 was a pretty tough question. So personally, I felt like numbers 1, 2, and 3 were easy. Now we go to number 4. Oh, which is right over here. Do I have your attention or no? Because it doesn't sound like it. Sorry, head in the game. It says the graph of f of x is shown below, which could represent the function. Now, I notice that the roots are -4, -2, and +1. That means that x is -4, x is -2, and x is 1. Which means if I then reverse the roots to find out the factors, it has to be x plus 4, x plus 2, and x minus 1. So I look over here and I notice that these two choices do not have an x plus 2 anywhere in them, so I get rid of those two. So it's either 1 or 3. Then I multiply, because the x plus 2 is already on the outside there, I multiply x plus 4 times x minus 1, I get x squared plus 3x minus 4, and it has to be choice 1. Okay? Yes?
Can we go back to the front, to the first?
Sure.
For number 2, why did it put it equal to 0?
Because it says what are the zeros. I'm not trying to be a wise guy, but
Okay, no, but I thought that you would only put equal to 0 when there's a 0 in the equation, so.
no.
Okay.
When it wants the zeros, that's where it crosses the x-axis, which is where the y equals 0. The y, f of x and y is the same thing, so I put a 0 in for the f of x, and then I solve. Okay? Any other questions? All right. Now we get to today's sheet, which I certainly hope your do it is done. Okay? In the flow and the way that things work. Now, we are on a very, very good pace. Today is actually, if you look at the label on it, it's Q4 lesson 1. So that means we're a day ahead of last year's pace. And tomorrow and Thursday, we have pre-tests for a test that's going to take place on Friday. Okay? We've already talked about how important that test is. People who got their relearn packets in, if you haven't handed it in yet, it is too late. But as long as you got your relearn packet in, then you can do your retest at some point during the week. I would suggest being 100% ready for that. Now, so it's a big week. It's a very big week. And then after this very big week, you can exhale and enjoy the heck out of your vacation, which I think, I'm not positive, but I think it's all of next week and the Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we
Monday
gave the
too?
Monday back yet
Yeah.
for the snow day. So this is a good thing. I get to do a little bit of fishing, get my batteries recharged, do some photography, and after that, get ready for the rest of the year. And I have 200 and, what is that? That's 30, right? 235 teaching days left in the career. It's a beautiful thing. I can't wait until I walk up there and it says 1 day left. I have been giving some thought to coming to school in my jammies on my last teaching day. We'll see. I'll do something weird, that's for sure.
Do something weird at the end of this year.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll do anything weird at the end of this year, though. I have another year to go.
Come in a bolo tie.
And a bow tie?
Bolo tie.
What's a bolo tie?
It's one of the ones that people in the South wear. You know, Mr. Larry Tate from Wizards of
What do we call,
love
we
that
call that
show.
cowboy tie.
Yeah, we're one of those.
That's a
bow tie.
possibility.
Bow ties are fine too. There's some- there's
I'll
something
ask
a
Nick
little bit
Christofaro
extra
for some
there.
advice on that.
You could wear a yellow jacket that, you know, some.
No, I'm
some
not,
trades-
I wouldn't spend the money on a yellow
Yeah.
jacket. Okay,
You could look like a newswoman.
I look like a newswoman.
You could
Poor
look
woman.
like a newswoman.
What's that?
You could look like a newswoman if you
The
were like
poor
a
woman,
lady.
she would have a goatee and no hair. So, poor girl. She must be in like really intense therapy. Okay. Identify the type of function that each table represents. What's the first one? Linear, good. What's the second one? Exponential. Third one. Let's check on that quadratic. We're gonna look for
I already found out what
second
the-
differences, 9. This is gonna be 15, 21, 27. And then if I go to second differences, I notice my second difference is 6. And if on the second difference, it's a common second difference, it will always be quadratic. Explain how you're able to identify. This one has a common difference, first common difference. This has a common ratio, and this has a second common difference. I'm sure you know how to graph it. Okay? Hey! Now, estimated fish population. I'm going down 101. I'm going down 103. I'm going down 105. I'm going down 107. So if you notice here, there is, it's somewhat linear. Okay, we did one earlier like this. It's somewhat linear, but it's also,
Quadratic?
well, I don't know, if I do second differences, 2, 2, 2. 2. So it's definitely going to be a quadratic function. Now, I do not believe that we are going to get all of, I think we're only gonna get half the quadratic graph. So, let's see here. We're gonna make this year 0, because I know it could be 2002, but that clutters the graph.
Also, you can't have a negative population.
That's very true. So, as I go through, notice when I set up my scale, I'm making 2 equal to 1. I'm just spreading it out a little. You do not need to do that, okay? But my experience says that that'll make life a little bit easier. Now, this has to have a population of 1,000. How many bars are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that'll be 1,000. I'm gonna make each one worth
50.
50, that's exactly right. So go up to 10 for 500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is 500. And then this would be 600, 700, 800, 900, 400, 300, 200, 100. Okay? And if I was doing my test or regents exam, I would never do it that quickly. I would make it a little neater. Are we good so far? Okay. So, population at year 2000, or at year 0, is 1,000. Then it's 899, which is just under, oh, I gotta go over here, sorry. Then it's 796, which is again just under. Then 691. 691 right there. 584. See, that one. Oh, hold it, I should have been over one more here. Which makes me over 2 more here, which makes me down to, here again, you may be slightly different. Bottom line is, I'm gonna curve in like that. And that will be 1/2 of the parabola, okay? Any questions on that? So the title of this lesson is Modeling Context from Data. So what we did was we took a look at the data, we figured out that it had to be quadratic, and then I could see half of the parabola being formed, and as Anthony said, or I should say Mr. Met, we don't have negative years, so we don't have to worry about the other side of the graph. Okay, homework it is. Time for you guys to get started. Now, you just went over a whole bunch of homework answers before. If you identified anything on that homework, you know how I give you homeworks. They're all similar. Find the question that's like the one that gave you difficulty before. Work on that question, straighten it out, get it ready to go. Okay? Now I have to post this up on. And believe me very much so, when you're doing this, you are doing, I would say probably 30 or 40 points of your test. I'm not doing the homework. You're probably working on 30 to 40 points of your test to get it all straightened out, okay? All right, let's go. You may work together should you choose, right?